Do you struggle to maintain weight loss but desperately want to feel good in your own skin, confident in your clothes, and improve your overall health? If so, you're home.
Hey, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the More Than a Number podcast. I'm Sam, I'm your host, and I am so incredibly glad that you're here. Now, if you're listening to this on in real time as it just came out on the Monday morning after a really fun weekend, maybe you grilled burgers and hot dogs, maybe there was potato salad, maybe you had, your aunt's famous apple pie that only comes out at this time of year. Maybe you had a couple drinks while sitting outside watching fireworks. Maybe you skipped your workout or stayed up later than normal. Maybe you had a few desserts or more than a few. And honestly, I hope you did. I hope you laughed. I hope you rested. I hope you hugged the people that you love. I hope you made memories that you'll remember far longer than you'll remember what was on your plate. But I also know what a lot of people are thinking this Monday morning, what I have thought many times the Monday after a holiday. I need to be really good today. I've got to get back on track. I'm skipping breakfast or not eating at all today. I'm going to cut carbs this week. I'm going to spend an extra hour at the gym today. I have to undo this weekend. If that sounds like you, this episode is for you. Because today we're going to talk about what happens after the fun, after the holiday. Not how to survive the barbecue or how to avoid dessert on the 4th of July. Not how to count calories at the cookout. Please don't count calories at the cookout. We're going to talk about what Monday morning should actually look like. And spoiler alert, it probably looks a whole lot different than what diet culture has taught you. You know what's funny? I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've worked in weight management for years. I've personally maintained a significant weight loss myself for nearly 2 decades. And you know what I've noticed? Every single holiday follows the exact same script. Before the holiday, we all say, I'll be good. During the holiday, we all think, I probably shouldn't be eating this. And on Monday, we decide punishment is somehow the answer. It's like we've all agreed that the Monday after the holiday is supposed to feel miserable. That whole week after the holiday. Who made that rule? Seriously, who decided that enjoying your life requires paying for it the next week? Because I promise you, your body didn't make that rule. Diet culture did. One of the biggest phrases I hear after holidays is, I need to get back on track. And trust me, I totally get the sentiment. I, to this day, have to make a conscious effort to not say that. Because can I tell you something? I actually don't like it anymore. In fact, I think it's one of the most damaging phrases in the whole kind of weight loss world. Because hidden inside those 6 little words is a belief that's simply not true. It assumes you left the track. If we're getting back on it, you left at some point, right? But did you? Let's really think about it. Did you stop caring about your health? Probably not. Did you suddenly forget everything you know about nutrition? No. Did one weekend erase weeks or months of healthy habits? Absolutely not. So why do we act like it did? You didn't fall off the wagon. You didn't ruin everything. You didn't fail. You celebrated your life. There's a huge difference. Think about what this weekend actually looked like. Yes, there was food. There always is. But was that all there was? Or did you get to spend time with your family or friends that have become family? Did you catch up with friends that you haven't seen in a while? Did your kids run around outside until the sun went down and then, shoot off fireworks with you? Did someone tell the same old family stories that somehow never get old? Did you laugh? Did you slow down? Did you watch the fireworks? Did you sit on someone's back porch talking until way too late? Those moments matter. In fact, I'd argue they matter most, way more than whether you ate a stupid hot dog or two. One of the things I hope you remember from this weekend isn't how many chips you ate, it's who you shared them with. Because when you look back on your life 10 years from now, you're not going to remember whether you had the bun, right? You're going to remember the people sitting around the table. And today feels especially meaningful. This weekend, we celebrated our nation's 250th birthday. What an incredible milestone. It reminded me that the freedom we enjoy every single day did not happen by accident. It was built on sacrifice, on courage, on generations of men and women willing to give so much so that we could gather with the people that we love. So before we go any further, I just want to say thank you to every veteran, to every active duty service member, every military family who has sacrificed alongside of them. Thank you. Because of your service, we get to experience weekends like this. Weekends filled with laughter and family and friendships and freedom. And yes, sometimes some really good food. Okay, all the time, some really good food. And if we can spend an entire weekend feeling grateful, why do we wake up on Monday morning feeling guilty? I have been thinking about that all day because gratitude and guilt cannot occupy the same space for very long. If I'm truly grateful for the memories that I made, why would I punish myself for making them? That's the question I want you to carry with you throughout today's episode. Not, how do I burn off that dessert from the weekend? But why do I feel like I have to? Because I think the answer to that question changes everything. We're going to talk about why guilt has absolutely no place in a healthy lifestyle, why punishment has never helped anyone build consistency, and why the healthiest people I know don't have perfect holidays. They have ordinary Mondays. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's talk about what usually happens on a Monday morning after a holiday weekend. Because if you're anything like most people, your brain is probably trying to negotiate with you. It's like, well, I had that hamburger and then I had a hot dog afterwards. I ate that one dessert that looked really good, but then Aunt Betty brought out the apple pie, so I had more of that. I was going to work out on Saturday morning, but I overslept and I didn't have time, so I missed my workout. I guess I better be really good this week. Or maybe it's, okay, I'm not eating at all today. I'm not eating carbs at all this week. I'm only eating salads. I'm going to the gym twice today. I need to detox or fast or cleanse. I need to burn this weekend off. Can I lovingly say something? No, you don't. You don't need to punish yourself for living your life. You don't need to earn your way back into healthy habits. And you certainly don't need to apologize for celebrating a holiday with the people that you love. Somewhere along the way, diet culture has convinced us that food has this moral value, that eating a salad makes us good, or eating dessert makes us bad. Working out makes us disciplined. Missing a workout makes us lazy. My friends, Food does not hand out report cards. Your body isn't grading you. You're not getting extra credit for skipping breakfast because, you had ice cream and a hot dog yesterday. That's just simply not how human physiology works. So let's think about this logically for a second, okay? Please. If your child came home after celebrating a birthday party, like, went to a sleepover or whatever, and said, I had cake yesterday, so I don't deserve breakfast today. You'd probably look at them and be like, honey, that's ridiculous. Of course you still deserve breakfast. So why do we talk to ourselves that way? Why is the grace that we so freely extend to everyone else so difficult to extend to ourselves? That is something worth thinking about, right? It drives me nuts because I do it. I'm sure you do it. We all do it. One of the things I've learned after maintaining my own weight loss for nearly 20 years is the goal is not to avoid the holiday, the fun event, the whatever it is, the birthday cake. The goal is not to become the person who never goes to the barbecue because honestly, who wants that life? Like, I don't. I'm going to the barbecue. And I don't want that for you either. The goal is to build a lifestyle that has room for these celebrations, for the holidays, for the cultural traditions and the fun and the family time. A lifestyle where a holiday is just that, a holiday, not the beginning of a 3-week spiral because Monday turned into guilt, Tuesday turned into restriction, Wednesday turned into overwhelming cravings, and then by Friday, you're standing in the kitchen eating everything because you're hangry, and then you're like, well, I blew it. Sound familiar? Here's what I've noticed. It's usually not the holiday that causes the setback. It's how we respond to the holiday. Okay? It's not the holiday. It's how we respond. It's the punishment we put on ourselves afterward. Because restriction almost always creates a rebound effect. When we tell ourselves, I'm not eating any carbohydrates this week, what happens? All we think about are carbs. We will, white knuckle our way through a couple of days, but when we say to ourselves, I'm only eating salads this week, we're usually starving by day 2. If we decide to do, 2 workouts, or stay in the gym, twice as long because we owe our body something, exercise becomes punishment instead of self-care. And none of those things teach us how to build a healthy relationship with food. They teach us to swing between the extremes, right? And that's what I want you to learn how to avoid, the extremes. So I want you to remember, healthy habits do not need a punishment phase. Think about someone who brushes their teeth every day. I hope you're one of them. If you forget one day, do you brush for 30 minutes the next morning? No, you just brush your teeth. If you forgot to take your vitamins yesterday, do you double the dose the next day? If you do, don't, because that's pointless. So hopefully not. If you missed watering your plants one day, would you drown them the next day to make up for it? Of course not. So why do we believe nutrition should work differently? Why do we think one indulgent weekend requires this extreme compensation? Because it doesn't. Your body does not need punishment. It needs consistency. One of my favorite things, to tell clients and work with clients on is that your body thrives on the normal, not the perfect, just normal. That's it. Normal breakfast, normal lunch, normal dinner, normal workout. normal bedtime, normal hydration, not because it's exciting or sexy or popular, but because consistency beats intensity every single darn time. That is where health, long-term health, is built. Not in the dramatic Monday restart, but in the ordinary Tuesday afternoon when you pack your lunch or choose a protein at dinner or go for your normal walk. Those ordinary moments are far, far more powerful than one perfect day after the holiday. And let's be honest, some of you are going to step on the scale this morning and, maybe you already have, but maybe it's up 2 pounds, 3 pounds, maybe even 5. Can I save you a whole lot of unnecessary stress, please? That is almost certainly not 5 pounds of body fat. Think about everything that changes over a holiday weekend. You probably took in more sodium through drinks, food, both, whatever. Maybe more carbohydrates than you normally eat. You ate later in the day than you normally do. You didn't sleep as much. Maybe you had a drink or two. Your whole routine was different. All of those things can temporarily increase our body's water retention. That's just physiology. It's not failure. One weekend does not undo weeks and months of progress. And one Monday morning weigh-in does not tell the whole story. Please don't let a temporary number convince you that you have permanently failed. Okay, so today I want you to try something different. Instead of getting up and asking, how can I make up for what I ate over the weekend? Ask yourself, what would future me thank me for today? Future you probably don't want no kind of detox. Future you probably is not asking you to skip meals because they know hunger. Future you probably isn't asking for some exhausting, punishing workout. Future you is probably like, just take care of me today. Eat your breakfast, drink your water, get your protein and your fiber in. Move your body because you love it, not because you're mad at it. Go to bed at a reasonable time. That's enough. More than enough. Because that's what sustainable health actually looks like. And in the next part of this episode, I want to talk to you about something that I think changes everything. The difference between the people who lose weight and the people who keep it off. Because after maintaining my own weight loss for nearly 2 decades, I've noticed something they all have in common. And it has absolutely nothing to do with having perfect holidays. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do we keep the weight off? I love that question because after years of working in weight management, working with bariatric patients, medical weight loss patients, after coaching people through sustainable lifestyle changes, and after maintaining my own weight for nearly 20 years, I've noticed a few things. One of which is the people who keep weight off aren't the people who never enjoy a holiday or a piece of birthday cake. They're not the people who, refuse to eat pizza ever. They're not the people who spend the 4th of July, eating grilled chicken and steamed vegetables on the side of the house while everybody else is having hamburgers. And honestly, that sounds miserable. It's definitely not how I want to live my life or hang at the barbecue. Instead, the people who maintain their weight have become really good at one simple thing. They resume, not restart. Resume. Think about that word for a minute. Resume. It means something was already happening. You simply continue it. When you restart, It feels like you're, starting from scratch. You're beginning at ground zero. When you resume, you're just continuing something that was already part of who you are. And those are two completely different mindsets. Let's say you go on vacation for a week. When you come home, do you restart brushing your teeth? No, you just brush them. Do you restart taking showers? No, you simply continue. Those habits have become part of your identity. You don't debate them. You don't negotiate them. You don't say, well, I missed yesterday, so I guess I'll wait until Monday. At least I hope you don't. You just do them. My goal for you is that healthy eating eventually becomes that automatic, not because you're perfect, because it's simply part of your life. One of the biggest mindset shifts I ever made was realizing that healthy habits don't stop just because life happens. They adapt. Some weeks I'm meal prepping on Sunday. Some weeks life is busy and maybe I just grab a rotisserie chicken and a bag salad. Guess what? That's still taking care of myself. Some weeks I get 4 strength training workouts in and other weeks I just get 2. Okay, that's still movement. Some vacations I walk 10 miles a day exploring the city. Other vacations I barely make it out of rest mode. All right, that's life. Consistency doesn't mean every week looks the same. Consistency means you continue caring for yourself even when life looks different. So, can I tell you something that might surprise you? The healthiest people I know don't have perfect weekends. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. They don't have perfect vacations or perfect holidays. They have ordinary Mondays. Write that down. Seriously, it's like the best thing to fully comprehend. Put it on a sticky note, save it in your phone, because I honestly think it's going to change the way you think about health. Healthy people don't wake up on Monday trying to erase the weekend. They eat their breakfast, they get their workout in, they pack their lunch, they go to work, they drink their water, they eat their dinner, they go to bed at their normal time, and that's it. Nothing dramatic, no punishment, no detox or cleanse or juice day, no earning food, no trying to make up for yesterday, just an ordinary Monday. I think one of the reasons that people struggle after holidays is because they accidentally turn one weekend into 3 weeks. Have you ever noticed that? The holiday itself was not the problem, guys. Monday becomes restrictive. Tuesday, you're starving. Wednesday, you're eating anything you can get your hands on because hello, hangry. And then you think, well, I already blew it. So Thursday, you grab takeout. Friday becomes, I'll start over next week. And suddenly, one little barbecue somehow became an entire month, and now the pants are tight. My friends, don't give that one meal that much power or that one weekend. That one holiday does not determine your health. What you do most of the time determines your health. This is something I tell my clients all the time. Your body responds to patterns, not isolated moments. Let me repeat that. Your body responds to patterns, not isolated moments. One salad doesn't just make you healthy. One brownie doesn't make you unhealthy. One workout doesn't make you fit. One missed workout doesn't mean you're out of shape. It's the pattern. It's always the pattern. And that's actually really good news because it means you don't have to be perfect. And newsflash, you're not ever going to be. You just have to keep coming back to your pattern. I want you to imagine 2 different people. The first person spends the holiday enjoying themselves. Monday, they eat breakfast. Tuesday, they go for their walk. Wednesday, they meal prep. Thursday, they have leftovers. Friday, they go out to dinner. Saturday, they keep on living. The second person spends Monday trying to detox by fasting or juicing or cleansing or whatever. Tuesday, they don't work out because they're exhausted from the fasting and the whatever. Wednesday, they're craving everything because they've been restricting. Thursday, they overeat because hangry. And then Friday, they decide the heck with it. So they go to happy hour and go balls to the wall over weekend because, I'm going to start again Monday. Who do you think is healthier 6 months from now? It's not even close. The first person, not because they were more strict, because they were steadier. One of the reasons I named this podcast More Than a Number is because I truly believe your health is about so much more than what that dang scale says on any given Monday morning. It's about your relationship with food, your confidence, your habits, your peace, your ability to enjoy life without feeling like you have to pay for it later. Because what kind of freedom is that? If every joyful experience has to be followed by guilt, that's not freedom. That's a prison. And I don't want that for you. I want you to enjoy the barbecue, the holiday, the weekend. Laugh with your family, celebrate your country, make memories, and then wake up today and simply resume. Don't start, resume. So as we wrap up today, I want you to imagine something. If it literally is Monday morning, then you don't need to imagine. But if you're listening on a different day, then imagine it's the Monday morning after this 4th of July weekend, or really any holiday weekend. Maybe you've already stepped on the scale. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're standing in your kitchen wondering what you should eat today, or if you should eat today. Maybe you're already bargaining with yourself. I'll just skip breakfast. I'll just eat lettuce today. I'll work out twice. I'll make up for it this week. Can I ask you a question? What if you didn't? What if today looked completely ordinary? What if today wasn't about making up for the weekend? It was just simply about taking care of yourself. Because those are two completely different motivations. One is rooted in guilt. The other is rooted in self-respect. And friends, self-respect will always take you further than self-punishment. I think one of the biggest mindset shifts we can make is this. Healthy choices aren't something we do because we messed up. Healthy choices are something we do because we deserve to feel good. Let me say that again. Healthy choices are something we do because we deserve to feel good. We don't eat vegetables because we're punishing ourselves. We eat vegetables because they nourish our bodies well. We don't move our bodies because we're trying to burn off dessert. We move because our bodies were designed to move. We don't drink water because we're detoxing. Our kidneys and our liver are already doing an incredible job of detoxing our bodies. We drink water because hydration helps us feel our best and function at our best. See the difference? The behavior might look exactly the same, but the motivation under it changes everything. So I want you to stop thinking of healthy habits as consequences. They're not consequences. They're acts of self-care. And I know that phrase gets thrown around a lot these days. People think self-care is like bubble baths and candles. And hey, if that's your thing, then go for it. But one of the greatest acts of self-care is simply honoring your body with consistency. Eating breakfast because you deserve energy. Going for a walk because it clears your mind. Packing your lunch because future you will be grateful. Getting enough sleep because tomorrow matters too. Those ordinary choices repeated over months and years are what create extraordinary health. I've shared with you before that I've maintained over 200 pounds of weight loss for nearly 20 years. And people sometimes assume that means that I've had 20 years of perfect eating. Well, I can promise you I have not. I have not been perfect in any way, shape, or form. I have celebrated birthdays. I've gone on vacations. I've ate my way through holidays. I've had plenty of pizza. I've had plenty of dessert and seasons where life is really stressful. And I've struggled with emotional eating and, using food to cope. I've had times where my workouts look completely different than they normally do, or maybe they didn't look like anything at all because I didn't work out for a period of time. The difference isn't that life stopped happening. The difference is I stopped believing I had to start over every time it did. And that mindset shift changed everything for me because every time I resumed instead of restarted, I strengthened the identity of someone who takes care of herself. And that's what I want for you. So tomorrow, or maybe even later today, when that little voice starts whispering, you need to make up for the weekend. Don't eat. I want you to answer it out loud if you have to. No, I don't. I'm just going to resume. Resume breakfast, resume your protein and your fiber, your fruits and vegetables, your walks, your workouts, your strength training, your water. Resume going to bed on time. Resume taking care of yourself. Because healthy people don't keep starting over. They simply keep going. So let's recap today's episode. We talked about why one holiday doesn't define your health, why guilt has no place in sustainable lifestyle. We talked about why punishment is absolutely not the answer. We talked about why your body responds to patterns, not isolated moments. And most importantly, we talked about becoming the kind of person who simply resumes. Because the healthiest people I know don't have perfect holidays. They have what? They have ordinary Mondays. So before I let you go today, I want to share something really exciting or that I'm excited about. Over the past week, I've been posting a lot on my socials. And by the way, if you don't follow me, you can find me on Instagram at Sam Barone Nutrition or on Facebook at Dietitian Sam Barone. But I've been posting daily accountability posts because I needed to reel my own self in and get that inspiration to keep pushing through. Not because I failed, not because I fell off track, but because life happens to all of us, including me. And I just thought it would be really fun to create something brand new that I know works. And I think so many of you are going to love. I know that there are people listening today who don't need another meal plan. You don't need somebody to tell you that vegetables are healthy. You already know that. What you're really looking for is someone to help you stay consistent, someone to help you stop starting over, to help you build momentum, push through a plateau, keep going when it feels like all progress is lost. Behind the scenes, I've been creating something specifically for those moments when you feel stuck. Whether you're just beginning your journey or you hit a plateau or you've simply been off your routine and you're ready to feel like yourself again. I'm not quite ready to launch it yet, but it's coming soon. And honestly, I can't wait to share it with you. If you would like to be one of the very first people to hear about it, just send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or you can email me at sam@theanchorednutrition.com. I'll let you know what to expect, and you may just get some fun first come, first serve benefits. I just know it's going to help a lot of people stop spinning their wheels and start building real momentum. Thank you so much for spending part of your Monday with me or whatever day you're listening. If this episode encouraged you, would you do me a favor? Share it with someone who might be waking up this morning feeling guilty after the holiday weekend, because chances are we're not the only ones, right? And maybe hearing these words today is exactly what they need. If you're enjoying the podcast, I'd also be so grateful if you'd leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe on YouTube. It helps more people discover More Than a Number and join in on this community that is all about evidence-based nutrition, real life, and lasting sustainable change. So until next time, remember, Don't restart, resume. Take care of yourself today because you're worth being taken care of. I love you. God loves you. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you right back here next Monday.